you sick of working for the man? Yes. Is it time to show big accounting how it's done? Most certainly. We're making a tier list. 16 reasons to start your own accounting firm. Freedom. Oh, the freedom. Nothing better than cutting loose the shackles of employment and choosing your own adventure. It's simultaneously the very best thing while also the very worst thing. I mean, I could do this tomorrow. I mean, it's pretty sunny outside right now. I mean, a new season of Stranger Things doesn't come out every day. I mean, I don't like that client that much. I'm gonna put this one in S tier, but also F tier because it is the best and worst thing. Social status, a book I love. The Elephant in the Brain talks about how we are all status-seeking creatures, whether we're willing to say it or not. We take pride in doing something that we think is impressive. And being an entrepreneur, way cooler than being an accounting employee. Money, it's good. It's really hard to not make good money when you're running your own firm. Like really hard. There's a lot of bad, stressful aspects of running a firm that won't necessarily overcome the upside of the money, but the money's good. You can show him. That last boss, you know the one you gave all those great ideas to and he was like, but that's not the way we've always done it. This is your chance. Gobble up their clients, build that mega firm that'll really teach them a lesson. That's not really that good of a reason to start a firm, but we all feel that. Your client list. Nobody likes working with jerk bags, something we've all done unwillingly. But good news, you get to pick who you do and don't work with now. It took me a long time to realize a lot of what I didn't enjoy about the work I did was because I had nothing in common with the people I was working for. Once I got a few of those clients that were a lot like me, oh my gosh, that was a fun place to be. So the idea of being able to build a whole firm around the people you enjoy working with makes the doing of the work so much different. Expertise. Specifically, you get to pick what yours is. One of the really cool things about our profession is if you have an interest outside of accounting, specialize there. If you're super into balloon animals and you enjoy talking with balloonists all day, niche there, surround yourself with them. That's a great part of rolling your own thing is you get to pick the people that you interact with all day. And it makes what could be really monotonous a fun thing to do. Buying and selling practices. There's a whole world on the other side of being in a practice and running a practice. That is buying and selling existing practices, strategic mergers, all that stuff. It's not really a space I know a ton about, but it's a world you don't get access to until you're running your own thing. The tech, specifically, whatever the heck tech you want to use. If you've been at a big firm, you know the struggles of, hey, I want to use this new app, and it has to get like vetted for months, as opposed to doing your own thing. All the risk is on you, but the world is your oyster. Pick up any old tool, build that stack however you like. Way more agility than a bigger firm where all these tools have to be vetted and it's much more slow to move. Your schedule, you get to make it. Someone else doesn't make it. That's a really good thing. It's also a really bad thing. You don't realize until you're making your own schedule that, man, the structure of somebody else telling me where to be and when was actually a very foundational part of my life and how I organize my day. There's gonna be hard aspects of rolling your own schedule, but I'll still take that over somebody else doing it. Boundaries, the fact that you get to set your own now. They're not set for you. You get to decide, is it okay for a client to use salty language with my admin staff? Is it okay for a client to not show up for meetings? When a client's business is a complete mess, is it our job to be the hero? Everybody's gonna draw those lines slightly differently, but as long as you're working for somebody else, you're working within their boundaries. They say, this is what's okay and what's not okay. On your own, you get to design those, which can take a lot of the dread out of, oh, what's gonna come up at the last minute that I'm gonna get stuck with? Like coming up till tax deadlines, you're like, oh, I got all my stuff together. But you can have that sort of existential dread of, but I know something's gonna pop up in the last week or two. Running your own firm, you're in the driver's seat. And if it happens, it's your fault. Entrepreneurship, you're learning how to be an entrepreneur, which has value not just through the lens of running an accounting firm, but in anything you go on to do. Let's say you double down on the balloon animal thing, you're gonna be better prepared to run that business than you were before you ran your own firm. There are a few better skills to learn than entrepreneurship. It makes you a much better advisor too. It's really hard to come out of school, be a staff accountant, and then advise people who are entrepreneurs, are running their own business. It's a really helpful thing to see both sides of that. Control over the work itself. I don't like tax anymore. I don't wanna do it again. I'm super into CAS. Maybe you like payroll, bad example. Maybe you like app advisory. You can build your firm now around the things that you enjoy doing, not just what somebody told you to do. And that ties right into flexibility. The fact that you can make a decision today, but you're still allowed to change your mind. Maybe you're over the whole balloon animal thing, and now all you can think about is timber sports. Okay, we're going over here now. Maybe the tax environment keeps getting worse and you're like, never again. You're just doing CAS now. You got the flexibility to take your firm where you want it to go. If you're like me, The things that you enjoy today are not gonna be the things that you enjoy 10 years from now, and may not be the kind of thing that you can build a team around. That stuff's a moving target, and when you're in the driver's seat, that's totally fine. Communication. We all have different communication preferences. From your new age skinny jeans wearing accountants that will never be called on the phone. How dare you for calling me on the phone? To the people that just wanna shoot the crap on the phone all day. There's gonna be clients that appreciate different styles of communication, but when you're running your own firm, you get to pick what you like best. Maybe all your clients are in Discord servers or Slack channels, and that's how you work best. Maybe you wanna do everything through a messaging app that your firm uses. You get to make the rules. And when client communication is like arguably the biggest stressor in what we do, you having control over those preferences, I think is a big deal. Firm size. A lot of the things that are great about one firm, bad about another firm stem from their size. And your preferences may be different than somebody else's. There's a sweet business to be made out of just being like a solo firm operator. There's always gonna be compromises to that, but some really great luxuries that come with it too. Maybe your sweet spot is solo. Maybe your sweet spot is a team of 10. You get to choose, and that may even fluctuate over time, depending on the people you're able to find, stages of life, pre-kids, post-kids, kids out of the house. Maybe you get sick of managing people. You've got control over how big or small you wanna be. And last, you can stop. You can put a ceiling on it. When you're working for somebody else, your job is maximum output all the time. It will be that way until the end of time. A really nice thing about working for yourself, you can be like, I'm okay getting here, and then I'm gonna stop. That could be the profit your firm generates. Could be the number of hours you're willing to work in a week. Now, if you are starting a firm, I highly recommend considering this, especially when it comes to things like money. It's really easy to get sucked into the trap of more. And if you can set some boundaries around that up front, say, hey, this is what I was making when I was an employee. Maybe I wanna get to 1.5x that, and then I'm good. You set that ceiling, then rather than your business being this big abstract thing that's always growing, you instead say, what's the best way to build a business inside this box? What's the version inside this box that I will most enjoy, that will give me the most flexibility? If the hardest aspect of running your own firm is finding peace, the answer to finding peace is defining what you're gonna build, so that when you get there, you have permission to stop, to slow down. What do you think? What'd I miss? What does your tier list look like? Most of these came from a tweet that a bunch of firm owners kicked in, and I'll link that below. And drop a comment below with your favorite aspect of running your own firm.